Hey guys, this is Imad Kashi from Northeast Kai, showing you my top 8 Dende Frieza deck profile. So, we'll start with the leader, just Dende, first 2, so it's 2 Dragon Balls, you know what it does. Then when you awaken, get Namekian targets are super combos and cards from side. Then you've just got active main, it's a Desire engine, you just play Desires for free, spam the board, win the game. It's basic, if you know Dende Frieza, you know how it works. Then you go to, obviously, Shenron deck. You have 5 normal Dragon Balls, 2 1-stars. 1-stars just help you fill the cards to drop, so you can resurrect them with Desires, and it hits hand. And this deck gets quite controlling on the hand size. So I should place them out there. Then next is my favorite part of the deck. The whole reason I'm playing the deck. It's the blue package. This is a blue-yellow deck, but the blue package is about 6 to 7 cards on average. Main deck 6. So you've got 4 Iskais. Iskais basically tap 1, draw, auto. When your opponent plays a battle card during your turn, they choose a card in the hand, place at the bottom. Basic combo of the deck is you play as Mecha Frieza. Mecha Frieza plays a card. They play the card during your turn. They lose a card from hand. So you've just made them -2. And this is like a type of hand removal that cannot be counted currently. Obviously it gets more insane when you have 2 or 3 on board, and it's the only way you can consistently hit extra cards out of people's hands, because you hit the hand so they have low amounts. So like in a lot of games today, so for example in one of my games today, my opponent had CBL, he had Cold Bloodlust, Time Magic and Mirror. So I played his Mirror and Rest, and you have to choose, does he lose the negate or does he lose his 1-off Cold Bloodlust? And just stuff like that. It's the only way to get rid of extra cards, which are usually untouchable. And then obviously it's 1 tap blue, you need something to charge. So you either charge itself or you charge Weskai. Weskai is basically Jacko on steroids.
Once again, players in the draft extravaganza.
We'll wait a second.
That is a 16-player draft extravaganza.
Should we just do it back in the house?
Nah, just do that.
Alright, let's keep going. So yeah, you combo, choose up to. There's like so basically use 6 or apes. They tap 2, play apes, nice. Right, get that back to your hand. You just tap 2 for no reason. Use 6, tap 1 Khalifa, right, get back to your hand. Stuff like that just lets you stall. Even against non-specific matchups. Usually, if someone's going for game, tap 1, 10k. Right, this is a 15k combo power for free. And this deck usually can break a lot through Shenron cards, through extra cards and 10ks. So this is just probably the best generic blue you could fit in the deck, and it's just luckily hits the meta quite well. Then we're going to go for the other 1-drop engines. The yellow Tagama, search for Desire for drop a deck. Basically, if you don't see the Desire, your deck's quite dead. So it's that simple. This is quite different because I main deck 2 Sobeys. Usually people run 3, but I found that if I have 3, I see it too much. I just hard mulligan to see it early on. And that's all the only time I ever need it. Later on it becomes charge energy. And then if it's against a aggressive matchup, like maybe as we talk about U6, baby, I'd probably side in a 3rd, just because you need to see it. Even if you see it too much, just seeing it that first turn, it's basically you get like 5k combo power and 10 attacks for no reason because you've awakened this super fast. And then Frieza, Revenge of Motion. A lot of King Yama hate. A lot of King Yama inside decks this tournament. So a lot of people want to get your Friezas and drop, put in Bob deck. Shenron matchup, Gogeta 5 drop, plays it bottom deck. You're just useless. So you need a way to cheaply always find a Frieza. And also if you just brick, you could just see this card and it helps. Also just makes the deck much more consistent. Also probably one of the best cards in the deck. Tagama Frieza Loyal Servant. If I got Sobe and Frieza on board, I can play him for free. Usually drop a 1-star, draw a card. The reason why we drop 1-stars is because it saves us energy. In a lot of decks, and then obviously in this game, unless you're playing against a slow deck like Shenron, games are usually over turn 3 or 4. Because a lot of people just want to rush you down these days. Especially a lot of people in this Nats bought aggro-based decks, because Shenron was the most common matchup people expected. So they just wanted to come and beat you down. So this just helped defense, and it's 5k combo power for free. And even if you've awakened, you just play it for free, shuffle your deck, draw a card, you just plus. It's just No situation where you see this, it's bad. And then main Frieza engine now, Occupation of Evil. You just need to have it. Actually, there's a few players that did this. So basically, I talked about the Gogeta and the Shenron matchup. They want to bottom deck your Friezas, but he can make it so that you can you place your Friezas into the drop, and they can't touch it. So worst case, they get rid of this, but then you still have 2 targets that you can use. I had to do that in like 1 or 2 games. I played I played so much Shenron today. I mean, yesterday. Frieza, Mecha Frieza, the Returning Terror. This is probably the best card in Shenron matchup. They usually don't awaken unless they're very lucky till turn 3. So you've used Sobe, you've used Tagama, you've just obviously Dende Burst 2. You've drawn so much, you're probably gonna see at least 1 Dragon Ball naturally. So you're gonna awaken you're gonna wish turn 2. You're gonna get this guy for free. You play him, he gains double strike. You just take 4 life from Shenron, and then they're just like, because their hand is just extras and 10Ks, and they're probably tapped out, and they're just fucked. Basically, I mean, they're just in a bad position. Yeah. Oops. Then the entire reason this deck even exists, Mecha Frieza. Then it's just, I don't know how to, but it's just
it's a disgusting
it's just a busted card, and then the combo just makes it even better. So, card, see your opponent's hand, choose a card, play it and rest. Why is this good? Information is probably one of the strongest things you can have in the card game, and this literally gives you full information of the opponent's deck. And then, when I've combined it with East Kai, so I'm probably going to play their super combo, that's their defensive draw card. That's gone. They've lost the draw in theory and they've lost the card. East Kai, they put a card to the bottom, they've lost another card. Most common stage in decks these days have counterplay. So this is my usual turn phase. I've got an East Kai on board from early prep. I've desired from my leader. Active main used it for free. Played Mecha Frieza. They've responded with let's say Gohan. Respond with Gohan. Card out their hand. East Kai's been triggered. So they've got to lose another card in hand. That's 2 out of their hand. Mecha Frieza's effect goes off. I've seen their hand. I see the hand, right, okay, I can play something else. So they played 2 cards during my turn, I've made them play a card and rest. So they've lost 2 cards in hand, she goes off, they've lost 4 cards in hand. The hands just went from 8 to 2 for no reason, 8 to 4 for no reason. And if I have 2 on board, that's just 8 to 2. In a few of my games today, in the best of 3s, game 1, or in one of the games, I would get 2 of these on the board, and they'd be so traumatized from having 2 of them. In the next 2 or 3 games, I only had 1, and I would play Frieza, and you start putting 2 or 3 cards underneath their deck. I'm like, yeah, mate, calm, don't worry. It's only 1 this time. Just people don't like it.
Nah.
It's just funny. Most of my friends in the fucking our local scene in Northeast Kai are like, can you please just not play Dende? I just wanna have a nice time. I'm like, mate, I needed to practice for that. Sorry, it's just.
Yeah. Quick shout out to all the boys in Northeast Kai. We've got the group over there.
Yeah.
We've got
currently
Jet playing for 3rd place, just over there.
Yeah, current team member in 3rd place.
Back to the deck.
Yeah.
The horrible deck that I personally hate playing against.
And then yeah. So then this is just your 7-drop target, 4 occupation. This card is just so most people run 2/2, which makes sense. You run into the card, you might as well run 2 of the Evolve engine. But in deck building, so basic deck building rules are: if you have 4 of a card, you want to see it twice. If you have 3 of a card, you want to see it once. If you have 2 of a card, you want to see it every now and then. In Shenron, this kind of changes a bit because you've literally lost 7 cards out of your deck. So you've got such a much you have an easier chance to find your 2 ofs. That's why all these 2 ofs I see a lot more consistently than a non-Shenron based deck. So that's why this is fine, but I want to immediately say this. And if I ever see 2 of these, it's just an easy charge target. And then this effect is just triple strike, rest everything, draw 2. So I had a game today where my opponent wanted to, he UI'd me when I played my 7-drop. And then but I still got the draw and I got to rest everything. And he had a bunch of combo power on board. So I think that was my top 8 game. It rested his entire board, lost all his combo power, and I just could swing for game for other cards. And then super combos, it's just the Namekian one. There was a phase where I hated this card, but the more I play it, the more I realize it's just the best one. You burst it, you can drop it, you just get it back with Wish. There's nothing wrong with getting 3 super combos.
Yeah, so a lot of people used to play the Sparking, didn't they?
Yeah, Sparking, because Sparking's activated like instantly, but I think if you just manage your life and resources well enough, this one's just better. Like even against Shenron, if it, I'll just charge it. I don't care. I don't really need super combos against Shenron. Shenron's they rely on the gates very heavily and tap out very easily. So I usually just swing with like. So if I just swing with this guy, a lot of Shenron has a lot of like 10Ks, and every 5K they have usually gets eaten up by my Mecha Frieza. So like common minor players, I've like hit their hand with Mecha Frieza, got most of their 5Ks out. They've got 10Ks left. So all my 15Ks are forcing 1 energy in a 10K every time. I think that's probably the main reason I didn't lose to like I played 3 Purunga and 1 Shenron in Swiss, and I beat them all. Mainly side deck did help a lot, which I'll get to. And then 4 radar, right? Okay, if anyone ever tells you not to run 4 radar, they're bad at the deck. That's all I'm gonna say. I've had so many people complain about 4 radar. Oh, you brick. Oh, it's so bad. If you see more than one, oh, what are you doing? Right. You just need the card. You need it for A. You can just do 1 stars, hand control. But the 2 desires, you basically for 2 energy, you get to play 2 20K double strikes that control the hand. There's just nothing bad about that, and you need to see this every time. There are scenarios where obviously I've seen this more than once where I've lost, but there's more scenarios that where having more than ones won me the game. And then negates, just main free time magic, a lot of aggro. I'm gonna be U6 taps me out. I need to stop their dual attacks. I need to stop their double strikes. I just need to not die, and I beat them through just having more resources. And yeah, and Broly mirror abusers need this shit for them. Need this. Right. Can mirror Broly just get hit eventually? I don't know. It's just overwhelm. Either negate or take a damage. Restand, negate or take a damage. That's the fact. Is also the Shenron can't restand. The threat's too high. And then obviously just the desire. You have to run 4 off the cards. Just core. You need to see it every time. This is like the one card you just want to see multiple times. You just activate it, get it out for free. Does its job, brings out this, this, or this whenever you want. There are plays actually. So, and like against people who sided, so people had King Yemma inside, which chooses 2 of my drop and shuffles it in, and that's like they're just trying to slow me down and hurt me. And then that's when this Frieza came out. So this is choose 1 Frieza, 4 or less. So there were like scenarios where I had like multiple of these, no targets. I just used this to get my 1 drop out. Use my 1 drop to get my Frieza from deck into the drop, get a card to play and just be aggressive and take control. So that's, yeah, this is always alive. And there's a card on my side that you can also get out with this, which unfortunately I didn't get enough of to the main deck. 2 remote, good card, hits baby, hits Shenron in theory, because you can warp like some of their targets if you controlled it well enough. But I don't know. Honestly, this was a mistake for main. It's a much better side deck card, because in this deck you kind of tap out a lot, and I've got quite a heavy 5K build, but I've still, as you can tell, there's 5, 7, like 11 10Ks and a lot of extras. I was gonna do the math, but I can't do it. 11 extra, like 13 extras, and so yeah, this is going to be changed. If you want to try this build, I recommend instead of this, one of the cards on my side, which I'll get to now. Just make it a space. So side deck for this tournament. Darkman Saiyan hits U6. It hits U6 cover, can't play Kale, drop 2, just slows them down. It's Shenron if they want to play Whis. It's also against slow decks, a form of self-awakening if I need to have it. Because I don't really care if I give them cards, because I can just control it out of it. A lot of people try to get rid of super combos and get rid of cards that don't have play effects, just so your Mecha Frieza hurts less. But then you can just take that life, give them the cards, and then right, I'm gonna play that card you just got from your life. And desperate measures, just counterplay. That's the best way to put it. You want to champ for me? No. You want to do anything to me? No.
Yeah, the card just says no.
Yeah, it just says no. 2 or less, it says no. Yeah. If you ever play against this, bouncing this back as well, because you'll never charge more than 1 blue. You should never ever charge more than 1 blue. because you just don't have the targets for it. You always want 2 yellow. The only reason you ever never have 2 yellow is if it's like turn 2, you've got blue yellow, you've used like blue to play Nikai, you've used your yellow to 1 star, you've got like your Sorbet and stuff early on to filter out, you've got Dende effect twice, and then you probably wished, and then you can just active main your Frieza into this, and in turn 2 you've took out 2 cards out of their hand essentially. Actually 3 including the 1 stars. And then other side, probably the card that saved me the most, this Nats King Emma card I was talking about. Choose 2 cards in the drop, shuffle in the deck. So even though I expected to play a lot of Shenron, I didn't actually think I would match a lot of Shenron because I thought they would just get killed off early. They eventually died out by round 7. I think most of them died out with like 1 or 2 remaining. And top 16 had 1 player who lost in top 16. So yeah, 2 drop shuffling, usually against Shenron. So their big turn 2 plays are either Objection or Super Dragon Ball. So what you do is, if they're Objection, obviously that's just fine. There's another side deck card for that, and then when they Super Dragon Ball, they're going to drop their 2 targets that they probably want the most. This will be a Whis, maybe Shenron Majesty, maybe just Goji or Kaioken. It's usually like, if they're greedy, it's World Peace and 1 card. But most of the time, you'd see Whis. Whis is always dropped from it if they have it, because that's like their main turn 4-5 play to ramp very hard. You just get rid of Whis, they can't ramp this hard. That gives you time to build board and just kill them. And then this is the card that I don't think many people actually side decked. A lot of people went for the forced ejection route, and the Piccolo from World Martial Arts has like the same effect. But I personally, I didn't like it for 2 reasons. This is Namekian, and every time they've used any effect like Objection or Whis, this card's alive. And when people see this card, they completely change their line of play. Like every time, game 2 or 3, I showed this card. So like, I would have a spare energy, I would just tap 1, play it. Because Shenron doesn't have removal. Shenron doesn't have removal till turn 5. So they'll see this card on board and they'll be like, oh, I can't ramp, I can't do it, I'll just neg too much. You'll just tap 2 and I'll get punished. And then this just slows them. So rather than getting big bombed on turn 4, you just get big bombed. You get big bombed on like turn 8. I mean, yeah, I'm happy with that. That does the job. And then so this scares them. And because this scares them, that slows them. And then he removes all the other cards that are their threats. So they just, essentially Shenron just becomes a turn till wait 6 or 7 and hope they've survived, which obviously they haven't. Nimbus, every aggro matchup, just need it. I would never main it because it's too situational in this deck, because you tap out a lot because you want to make aggressive plays. You want to always be the one controlling the tempo. You never want to let your opponent control the situation. So I think the guy who won is the guy who beat me.
Is it the Gogeta?
No, it's the Broly Apes. He's the only one that's
red, yellow.
around. Yeah, no. He got knocked out, top 16 straight away. He's Broly U6.
Oh, right.
Broly U6, but he main decks 2 apes.
Ah.
Just as extra like control. So yeah, Nimbus, aggro matchups, CM, U6, other stuff. Baby, it's good against as well, because you just stall with Baby and you can just remote use bomb them. So then now it's just upping cards in the deck that I like for scenarios. Weskai, Broly, Broly Apes, and U6. You just need a 3rd. The cards just helps the matchup insanely. Same scenario, aggro decks, or just decks you just want to awaken fast so you can be aggressive. Like Shenron, I want to awaken turn 2 every time, so I can desire for free and just build board as soon as possible. Tao was a bit of a like, why are you running that? But the main reason is people all have Dark Mass in their decks, and they all want to side this in game 2. It's like, oh, it'll stop Mecha on my super combos, it'll stop me desiring this. But what you do is you play Tao, do it anyway, right? I've dropped 2. What I'm going to drop? I'm going to drop 2 dead 10Ks. What are you going to do? You're going to warp 3. If you play 2, it's even better. And against hand control, what you do is you just play Mecha, oh, your card forces me to discard. Sure, discard, warp free. Like, good example is Red Green Broly, 2-drop. If you ever have that in hand, sound, I'll play it. Nice. I have to discard, sure, warp free. Just it hits like in scenarios you wouldn't expect it. And then this is probably my favorite card of the current set of the side, which I think I put in every game, just because it was just a good card. I didn't get a chance to play test with it. I didn't get my hands on it until like 8:30 when registrations closed at 9. I just knew it was good. So I just assumed.
There it is.
Yeah, Frieza United 7, Frieza Universe 7 United. It's a new draft box 4 card. Barrier blocker, active main, tap 1 blue, 2 anything, play from draw. Essentially, Shenron, barrier blocker, can't get around it. Just stops one of their triple strikes. Honestly, against Broly, against Apes, stops their triple strike. Against there was a lot of set 7 Broly today actually, because they wanted to counter Shenron being the aggro matchup. Set 7 Broly, they were what, 3 attackers? One of them's gone now. It's just yeah, the card can be played from drop. Even if so, like let's say you've like grind each other down. You've got like little hand size each, right? Play this for drop. Nice. I would definitely, if you're gonna try this deck, replace the 2 remote series bombs with 2 of these in main, and then you've got like a good blue ratio anyway. So you'll probably charge one of these, and this is always active. Because even your turn 3, let's say you've just got 1 desire, I would just be like, right, top 3, play this, 3 desire, bring out any of these. Worst case scenario, 3 desire, bring him, defense. If I have to, I've got 2 defenders. Like, you can't really get around it. It's just this deck doesn't have much. This deck can sometimes fall on the combo power part because it's very like tanky heavy. So this is just like I don't need combo if I've got this instead. People used to run Dende Defender. I think Dende Defender is a bad card. This is just a better Dende Defender in my opinion right now.
Yeah.
And it's blue, so it fits the blue yellow package.
All right.
So yeah.
That is our Emad Kashi's Northeast Kai's top 8 Dende Frieza.
I would like to say I should have been like top 2, but I'm a bad player. I hard misplayed in my top 8 game, and I think the guy I hard misplayed to is the current champion, from what it seems in the crowds and the guys standing around the streaming area.
Yeah, the clapping before was the top spot being taken.
Yeah, so the guy lost, he won. So basically, what I would like to say is if you play this deck perfectly, you should beat everyone. That's the entire reason I took this deck. You perform every matchup, you perform perfectly on this deck, you should never lose.
Yeah.
And even with the new apes that everyone's loving and wanting to play, you have a favorite matchup because all their plays are usually on your turn. Sure, usually they plus and they beat through plussing, but East Kai is just like, right, you played a card on my turn, bottom deck. Well then they just don't plus anymore. There have been scenarios where they've hated this card so much they swing it through like 4 times and I've just defended it. I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'll save this. Next turn, no hand, right? Played another one, right? You have every Mega Frieza's like +3, +4 and stuff. The cards.
Righto.
So then that's it.
Well,
I would explain more how my matches went, but I think the videos lasted long enough.
Yeah.
So I do recommend trying out while you can. Blue Yellow Dende from Northeast Guys, Emad Kashi. Have a good time.